Hi.
Julie, I'm a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
Now,
Thank you
you've
very
been in
much.
some of my favorite comedies like Airplane. What is it about
Which we
Instant
shot here.
Exactly. What is it about Instant Family that's different, that's so special to you, do you think?
Well, what I love about the movie is that it's funny,
Hmm.
it's heartbreaking. Everyone can see it from 5 years old to grandma and grandpa, but it also is really informative and embraces foster care and the fact that there are children that need families and families that need children. And it's through Sean's true story, he's opening up the eyes to all these people saying there's a lot of love out there that needs to happen.
I gotta ask you, what's it like working with Mark, Rose, Margot, and all these guys?
Oh, well,
And Tig?
Margot got a t-shirt and I didn't.
Oh.
I'm telling everybody. But Margot is a dream. I just totally, we hung out together off, went shopping and hung out, and she's delightful. And Rose is just, you have to say beautiful before you say her name,
Of course.
inside and out, and so talented. And Mark is, he's amazing. And oh, also about Mark, I believe it was his son who, in real life, who came up with the face painting. He
Oh.
showed me a picture of his son with that face painting, and it was just like a big family, like the Thanksgiving dinner.
I'm a huge fan of yours, huge fan of Star Trek Discovery. I'm geeking out right now.
Oh, good. Well,
So,
I'm
congratulations.
here. I'm here to promote Star Trek. That's what I came for.
I'm a huge fan of Instant Family. Your character with Octavia Spencer, some of the highlights of this movie. Talk a bit about working with Octavia.
I was intimidated and excited to work with Octavia, and then as soon as I walked on set and met her, I was like, oh, this is no big deal. I mean, she's just so absolutely lovable, and she's so absolutely talented. And it was a dream I didn't even know I ever had, was to work with Octavia Spencer. It was really fun, and yeah, I feel lucky. I find myself still bragging about it. I'm on Star Trek, and I worked with Octavia Spencer.
That's a great achievement. I
Yeah.
love it. Now, what is it about Sean Anders and John Moore's writing? Because a lot of social workers get a lot of bad rap out there, but your character and Octavia, they're so lovable and adorable and actually genuine.
Yeah, I felt. I mean, the whole movie, start to finish, walks a beautiful line of heartfelt drama and comedy. I was so pleasantly surprised by, as a comedian, you can get a little snobby about stuff, and it was really fun to read the script and then meet these guys and be like, this is awesome. This is so well done. And when I saw it in the theater, as a writer myself, I was just like, oh, this is, every little piece works and moves perfectly. And yeah, it was I think it's really well done.
This movie made me cry, like
Oh,
bawling
good.
in the
Thank
theaters.
you.
Yeah.
I love hearing that, especially from the big guys.
But also made us laugh with the Avatar jokes and whatnot. So I want to ask real quick. I know this is based on your experience. What is it that made you decided to want to take your experience and make it into the movie?
Um, my writing partner, John Morris, it was really his idea at the beginning because he'd been hearing all of these crazy stories I'd been telling him for years about how my family came into existence. And he said, I never knew how any of that worked. And I didn't really know how any of it worked either before my wife and I got into it. So it started there from this idea that, not enough people know about these kids and about how this works. And then from there, we thought, because we make comedies for a living, we thought, well, maybe we can tell this story in a different way, because so many people have made gut-wrenching dramas on this topic. And unfortunately, a lot of those, even great movies that are very honest and real, they send people away with more of those stereotypes of fear and pity around these kids. And I didn't want that. I wanted to make something that focused a little bit more on the joy and the laughter and the love.
Now, I want to ask also about the balance between the comedy and the drama. You strike it really well. What's the trick on that?
It's just something that was very important to us from the beginning. We wanted to express the roller coaster of emotions that I felt going through it, and that my wife felt going through it, and the kids. So from the very first draft all the way through the final edits of the movie, that's what we were dialing in the most, is just trying to get that roller coaster of laughter to tears as best we could.
Last question before I let you go. A lot of parents have concerns, maybe, or maybe like cautious about adopting older kids because they think that they already have past memories of them. And also, babies are more easier. So, what would you be your advice be to parents? Like, hey, those concerns are valid, but you don't need to be afraid.
Oh yeah, you know, I mean, the truth is, these kids, they're just kids, like any other kids, and they need all the same things that we all need. They need love and family, and they need a home. And I think that the fear that people have, I totally understand that fear that people have going in. But what a lot of times they don't think about is that these kids also have a strength and a tenacity and a resilience that comes from growing up in very difficult situations. So these kids come to you with these amazing abilities, and if you can factor in some love into that, these kids can blossom in ways that I think surprise a lot of people.